Nothing is more satisfying and enjoyable than a game with a proper challenge. One that'll help the player learn the mechanics and establishes obstacles the player must overcome. A well-crafted game is one that challenges and rewards the player for mastering the mechanics, understanding their enemies, and adapting to new situations. And boy have I found a well-crafted game.
The jailer is the key. Kill him, and you'll be free.
Furi is a boss rush game where you break out of space prisons specifically designed for the main character. Every level has a unique boss with their own distinct environment, coupled with fantastic audio and visual design, as well as one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my entire life. But where Furi truly shines is in its unique and challenging gameplay. Furi plays as a boss rush with a mix of bullet hell and hack and slash, which is a mouthful, but it's really cool. Most bosses have different phases that switch between two game types, one-on-one duels and oh my god, what has happened? My favorite of the two is the one-on-one duels because they feel personal and more competitive. When the duel begins, your movement is limited to a tight circle around the enemy, exaggerating these senses. Whenever the circle shows up, I hyper-focus on my enemy, and the only thing that is going through my brain is, ah shit. It's getting real. The dynamic gameplay style and easy to comprehend mechanics make the game feel fantastic to control. You got your dash, slash, parry, and gun. They all feel snappy, responsive, and fluid like flowing water. Each action also has a more powerful variation of it. The dash can be charged to go further distances, and the gun and slash attacks can also be charged to deal some heavy damage. However, the parry works a bit differently, and is one of the most unique takes on the parry I've seen in a while. The parry in Furi has an interesting timing mechanic that rewards skill, reaction, and foresight. If the player parries the enemy's melee attacks, normally they will be rewarded with some health, but if the player times the parry to right before they are hit, they will stun the boss and gain the opportunity to activate a cutscene where they beat the hell out of the boss and deal some massive damage. Speaking of damage, let's talk about how you beat a boss in Furi. To defeat a boss in Furi, the player must deplete the enemy's health bar and finish off their lives. Each life the boss has represents which phase the player is at and what moves they will be using. For example, phase 1 of the song is shoot her, while phase 6 is okay, so you gotta dodge between these platforms and avoid the bullets, and you gotta shoot these towers, that's how you deal damage, and oh my god, is that a late? All while maintaining the player's own health and life during the battle. In the Furi and Furier modes, the player has 3 lives, and once one is lost, the boss gains their health back, and the current phase restarts. And if the player has lost all of their lives, they must restart the fight from phase 1, which can be extremely frustrating when you're on the last phase, and you gotta do the whole thing over again, and come on, I was right there! However, if the player manages to kill one of the boss's lives, they regain their health, gain a lost life, as well as moving on to the next phase. This is a unique and interesting take on the boss rush formula. I like it a lot. It feels rewarding to get through a phase and gain a lost life, and not too punishing for losing one, because you gain it back by adapting and overcoming the current phase. Even if losing all of them and starting from the beginning can feel cruel, it's usually the player's fault for losing them and not getting them back. This is the one. This is the one, baby. Unlike most action games, the player never gets upgrades or new moves throughout the entire game. There are no skill trees or enhanced weapons and items, there is only what the player starts with, and that's all they got for the entire game. Which sounds like it'll get stale and provide no feeling of progression to the player. But the game is designed around these limited options, and each boss takes advantage of the player's moveset. Just about every fight requires the player to use all of the tools they have at their disposal. Each and every boss demands the player to learn their moveset and adapt to new attack patterns in all phases of the fight. An example of this would be one of my favorite fights, the Burst. In this fight, the boss demands the player to dodge and shoot between her drones, which evolve with each phase. The Beat shields herself with camo while she hunts the player from a distance. The player must find her and shoot her before she can escape to another hiding spot. Once she is revealed, she will close in the arena and pull out some new moves. Everything in this fight is dynamic. She will shoot out wave attacks that the player needs to dodge through, or AoE attacks that can only be avoided by using the environment. She will throw out parryable bullets and grenades, as well as trying to get close and stab the player with their blade. This fight demands the player to adapt, master the mechanics, and use everything they have to come out on top. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, she's an 11.
And she'd give herself a 12.
Not only does every boss feel unique to fight, but they are also dramatically different in character and design. You tell me, this guy looks anything like this thing. Each boss has their own individual personality and looks to them. The old man is wise and patient, the Burst is hopeful and brave, and the lamp is, wacky. Most of the bosses also have the same goal, which is to stop the player. However, most bosses will also have different reasons for that goal. Some want to stop you for the safety of their loved ones. Others want to stop you because they enjoy torturing you. And the Line, best boss in the game by the way, wants to stop you to prove that he has become a stronger warrior through his training. Giving each boss their own personality helps emphasize that these are people putting their lives on the line to stop the player from escaping, and helps give the game a bit more flavor. After beating a boss in the game's story mode, the game will turn into these walking sections that can be automated with just a push of a button. It's supposed to be a time for the player to cool down after a big fight, and according to the Steam community page, these can be very hit or miss. For me though, it's a hit. I see these walking sections as a way to sit back and enjoy the beautiful world and music of Furi. Even though these can be a bit long at times, like the one before The Beat, I still like to sit back and enjoy the show. It's like watching a visual album accompanied by stunning environments, dynamic camera angles, and amazing music, while subtly learning about the next boss and the lore of the world as well. I enjoy these segments a lot. It feels like a way to chillax to some jams after climbing a mountain, and it's also a great way to tell a story. But we're not going to talk about that, because even though I enjoyed uncovering the mystery behind the player's past and finding out the true motive behind the narrator, I want to finish this video. I've been working on it forever. I did truly enjoy my time with Furi though. The gameplay is phenomenal, the music is stellar, and the story kept me interested till the very end. So if you like difficult games, give this one a shot. It's short, it's fun, and it kept me entertained for a few hours. And a few days because I couldn't beat a couple bosses for a while. Anyways, that's all for me. If you enjoyed the video, like it, please, and subscribe, please. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, I've got a game to show you. Come on, follow me.